Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1775, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. What is the term for an intense fear of nudity? Answer: gymnophobia, also called nudophobia. Which African country moved its capital from Lagos to Abuja in 1991? Nigeria. Which word means "in the same words"? Verbatim. What is 69 in Roman numerals? Which U.S. state's name comes from a Native American word meaning beside the long, winding river? Connecticut. Who portrayed Doyle Lonnegan in the film The Sting? Robert Shaw? In which country and near which town was the Rosetta Stone discovered? Answer: near the town of Rosetta, Rashid, in Egypt. What is the term for a male horse that has been castrated? Gelding. In which Dickens novel do the characters John Jarndyce and Mrs. Jellyby appear? Bleak House. What disease is commonly called infantile paralysis? Poliomyelitis. Which animal is also known as the prairie wolf? Coyote. Which island nation in the Indian Ocean is home to the sacred mountain known as Adam's Peak? Sri Lanka. What vocal group did James Brown tour and record with in the 1950s? The Famous Flames. In Britain, what type of publications are Sing Tao and Wenwei Po? Answer: Chinese language newspapers. Before he managed Elvis Presley, what unusual act did Colonel Tom Parker promote? Dancing chickens. Which author of beloved children's books lived in a house near Hawkshead that is now a museum? Beatrix Potter. Who provided the demonic voice for Linda Blair's possessed character in the film The Exorcist? Mercedes McCambridge. What was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon produced? Plain Crazy, 1928. Which word for a hired killer comes from the Arabic word hashishi? Assassin. Which author created the British spy George Smiley? John le Carré. What do oyster catchers primarily eat? Bivalves, especially mussels and cockles. What tragic event occurred for the first time at Disneyland in California in March 1981? A murder. What area of commerce involves raising or trapping fur-bearing animals, processing their pelts into garments, and marketing those garments to retailers? The fur industry. What color caps are traditionally worn by the Australian cricket team? Green. What Latin word originally referred to a place where three roads meet? Trivium. In Star Trek, which character is said to have a normal heartbeat of 242 beats per minute? Mr. Spock. What was the title of Charles Dickens's final unfinished novel? The Mystery of Edwin Drood. What type of geographic feature are the Chihuahua, Nubian, and Alaskan? Deserts. What's the nickname of New Zealand's national rugby union team? All Blacks. In which sport did Fred Perry win a world championship in 1929? Table tennis. Which fictional detective resides at 221B, Baker Street, London? Sherlock Holmes. Which Scandinavian country operates a state gambling monopoly through the company Norsk Tipping? Norway. Which country produces the most cheese by volume? United States. Which U.S. state is nicknamed the Evergreen State? Washington. What term describes animals that eat both plant and animal matter? Omnivores. In which city did the Beatles record the song Can't Buy Me Love? London. Which continent is the natural habitat of the ostrich? Africa. What craft toy involved cutting out plastic figures, coloring them, and then baking them in the oven to make them shrink? Shrinky Dinks. Which language is the English word mummy ultimately derived from? Answer: Arabic, ultimately from Persian mum, meaning wax. In what year was the original building that later became Buckingham Palace constructed? (1703). Which type of human cell lacks a nucleus? Red blood cell, mature erythrocyte. What does an onomastician study? Names. The English word penis comes from a Latin word that originally meant what? Tail. In Turkey, which color is traditionally associated with mourning? Black. In The Breakfast Club, what unusual trick does Molly Ringwald's character Claire demonstrate with lipstick? She applies lipstick using her breasts. What sexual act does the term ametripsis refer to? Answer: rubbing or stroking the female genitals, female masturbation involving the vulva or labia. Which character in Shakespeare's play The Tempest is the son of the witch Sycorax? Caliban. What is the name of the calm, windless region of the ocean near the equator? Doldrums. Which band featured singers Susan Sully and Joanne Catherall? The Human League. Which artificial flavor, first synthesized by German chemists in the 1870s, reproduces the characteristic taste of vanilla? Answer: vanillin, synthetic vanilla. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.